Have you ever been in that situation where you're trying to describe someone to a friend? Maybe you're at a party or you're trying to spot a date in a crowded coffee shop and you realize mid-sentence that you're completely failing.
You mean the generic blur.
Exactly, the generic blur. You're saying things like, the guy, he was sort of regular looking. He had
Yeah.
hair and a face.
And your friend is just staring at you.
Just blankly, because you haven't actually described anything that distinguishes this person from, I don't know, a cardboard cutout.
It happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
We see people all day long, thousands of faces, but the signal between our eyes and our mouths just gets, scrambled. We lack the specific language.
It feels like we lack the interface to get the image out.
Yeah.
So today we are fixing that. We're doing a deep dive into a text called Adam's Guide to Describing People. Now, you look at that title and you might think, okay, great, a vocabulary list, fascinating. But as I was reading this, I realized it's actually a lot more than that. It's a manual on the mechanics of observation.
That is a great way to put it. It's not just about memorizing words like tall or short. It's about how to structure your perception. Adam's Guide basically argues that to describe a person, you need to break down all that chaotic visual data into 4 distinct pillars.
4 pillars: appearance, clothes, personality, and age.
Exactly.
I love that structure because it turns a vague impression into, a checklist. And our mission today is to break those down so that by the end of this deep dive, you have a complete toolkit. We want to move from, he looked normal, to, high definition descriptions.
The source calls it creating a clear picture. That's the goal.
Yeah.
To transfer the image in your head into someone else's head without losing resolution.
So let's unpack this. Pillar number 1, the most obvious place to start: appearance.
Right. The visual foundation. This is the raw data. When you look at someone, before you know their name, before they even speak, you get a biological outline. And the source identifies the key dimensions here as height, weight, hair, eyes, and face shape.
And what I like is that the author, Adam, he keeps it grounded in the silhouette first. Height and weight. We're talking tall, short, medium, thin, fat, average. Why start there? Why not just jump to the eyes?
It's because of the zoom effect. If you're scanning a room, height and build are your primary filters. If you tell me to look for a man with blue eyes, I have to get within, 2 feet of every single person in that room?
That's completely inefficient.
Right. But if you say, look for the tall, thin man, I've immediately eliminated 80% of the people in my mental image. It creates a frame.
That makes so much sense. It's a filtering mechanism. Once you have the frame, then you zoom in, and we get to the hair. The guide points out it's not just color. You don't just say brown hair. That's too low res.
You need length and style. Is it long, short, curly, straight?
Those combinations are where the character starts to emerge, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about the difference in the vibe between short, straight hair and long, curly hair. The first one might imply order, utility, maybe a no-nonsense attitude. The second one, it takes up space, it has movement, maybe a bit of wildness to it.
You need both descriptors to really paint the picture.
You do.
Then we zoom in even further. The face itself. The source mentions the standard stuff, eyes blue, brown, green, and face shape round, square, oval. But here's where it got really interesting for me. It lists what it calls special features, or what I like to call the texture of a person.
The unique identifier.
Exactly. Glasses, a beard, freckles.
In forensics, or even in character design for movies, those are the gold standard. If you describe someone as having an oval face, that's fine, but it's passive, it's forgettable. But if you say he has a round face with a thick beard and glasses, those are high contrast features.
The things we hang our memory on. But the one that really stood out to me in this list of special features was smile. The guide lists smile right next to physical traits like freckles. He has a big smile.
That is a fascinating observation. It's the bridge, isn't it?
The bridge.
A smile is physical, it's teeth and lips, but it's also the first real clue about someone's internal state. It bridges that gap between how someone looks and who they are.
So if you describe someone as having a big smile, you aren't just describing their mouth, you're describing their default setting.
Precisely. It changes the whole temperature of the description.
And the source uses a great comparative example for this. It contrasts, saying he is tall and thin with he has blue eyes and a round face.
Right. One is the long shot, the silhouette we talked about.
And the other is the close-up.
Exactly. And to get that clear picture, you can't just pick one.
No. If you only give the close-up, I can't find them in a crowd.
And if you only give the long shot, I won't recognize them when I shake their hand. You need both.
So that's the biology, the stuff we're born with. Which brings us to pillar 2. This is entirely about choice.
Close. The context.
Right.
This is where we start to learn about the person's life, not just their genetics. As the source says, clothes tell us a lot about people.
It's true. Appearance kind of happens to you. Clothing is what you do.
And the guide breaks this down into categories to keep it organized. You've got the type of clothes.
Casual, formal, sporty.
Right. And then the specific items.
Hmm.
Shirts, t-shirts, blouses, pants, jeans.
And footwear. Shoes, sneakers, sandals. It's interesting because if you describe someone as wearing a suit and formal shoes versus jeans and sandals, you've painted 2 completely different scenarios.
Without even describing their body at all.
Totally. One's at a bank or a wedding, the other is at a barbecue or the beach. You haven't described their personality yet, but you're already making assumptions. We can't help it.
But the guide emphasizes that you can't just list the item. He's wearing a shirt is almost useless. You need the details.
Accessories and color.
Yes. Color is huge for visualization. Imagine the difference. He's wearing a suit versus he's wearing a white suit.
Oh, that's a statement piece. That implies a totally different character than just a navy blue suit.
And then you have accessories. Hats, watches, bags, scarves, gloves. These are like the props in the scene.
Props is the perfect word. A watch might imply punctuality or wealth. A scarf might imply an artistic flair, or just that it's cold.
I like the example the source gave for synthesizing all this. It says, he is tall, thin, and wearing a blue t-shirt and black jeans.
Let's just analyze that for a second. Why does that work so much better than just saying he's a tall guy in jeans?
It's the contrast and the specificity. Tall and thin gives you the wireframe. Blue t-shirt and black jeans fills in the color palette. It creates a complete silhouette.
It's data compression, really.
It is. You're giving the maximum amount of identification in the fewest words.
It's like building a police sketch, layer by layer. But, and this is a big but, we're still just on the surface. We haven't talked about what's going on inside the mannequin.
Which brings us to pillar 3, the core, personality.
This is the pivot point of the entire text, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And the source makes a very crucial point here. It asserts that while appearance is the first thing we see, personality is more important.
More important. That's a strong claim for a guy that just spent so much time on hair color and pants.
It is. But think about it. Appearance tells you what something is. Personality tells you who something is. I mean, 2 people can look almost identical, same height, similar style, but they can be completely different human beings based on these personality words.
So let's look at the vocabulary of character here. We have the positive traits: friendly, kind, nice, honest, helpful, polite.
Those are the social glues. They describe how someone interacts with the world. They basically tell us this person is safe to approach.
Then you have the intellectual or social traits: funny, smart, clever, serious.
And confidence levels, too. Shy, brave, confident, and even work ethic lazy versus hardworking.
These words carry so much weight. Calling someone brave paints a completely different picture than calling them shy, regardless of how tall they are.
And what I found really helpful in the source is how it links these adjectives to actual behavior. It doesn't just leave them as abstract concepts.
Right. It anchors them in action. It's the show don't tell rule, but for everyday conversation.
Exactly. For example, it defines friendly as smiles all the time.
And smart and polite means always helps his friends. Funny is tells many jokes.
That's so crucial for observation. You can't see smart, but you can see someone helping a friend with a problem. The source is teaching us that personality isn't invisible. It just manifests in what we do. You observe the action, and then you assign the tag.
So if I say, he's the tall guy in the red shirt, I found him. But if I say, he's the tall guy in the red shirt who is laughing and telling jokes, now I know him.
Precisely. You've animated him. You've given him a soul.
Okay, so we have the body, the clothes, and the soul. But there's one more factor that orients us. Pillar 4.
The timeline. Age.
Right. This is how we place people in their life cycle. It's so essential for context.
And the source offers a spectrum of general terms. Young, middle-aged, old, elderly.
And it gets specific with the stages: baby, toddler, kid. And it specifically defines teenager as that 13 to 19 range.
That specificity is really helpful. Teenager implies a very specific set of social behaviors, doesn't it? Maybe some awkwardness, rebellion. It carries cultural baggage that young person just doesn't.
And then, of course, adult. The usage examples here are great because they mix the general with the specific, like, she is young, she is 18 years old.
It seems a bit redundant to say she is young, she is 18, but it's actually reinforcing the image. Age changes how we interpret all the other descriptors.
How so?
Well, take the adjective strong. If I tell you a 25-year-old man is strong, you probably picture muscles, gym fitness, physical power. But if I tell you a 75-year-old man is strong, the image shifts completely. You might picture resilience, health, a sturdy constitution.
That's so true. Or even brave. A brave toddler is very different from a brave soldier.
Exactly. Age sets the scale for everything else.
So we have our 4 pillars: appearance, clothes, personality, age. Now this is where we get to the deep dive part. The source provides these full sentences, these full descriptions. I want to treat them like mini case studies. Let's see how these pillars interact when you mash them all together.
This is the art of the full description. It's all about the flow.
Okay, case study 1. The friend, the text says, "My friend is tall and thin. She has long black hair and brown eyes. She wears a red dress and white shoes. She is very friendly and kind. She is 20 years old."
Okay, notice the sequence. It's cinematic. It moves from the physical outline, tall and thin, to the details, hair and eyes, then to the costume.
That red dress, it's a high visibility flag.
It is. And finally, it lands on the internal reality, friendly and kind, and the timeline, 20 years old. It flows from the outside in.
It creates a cohesive vibe. She sounds approachable, maybe a bit stylish, but open. Okay, case study 2. The brother. "My brother is medium height and strong. He has short brown hair and blue eyes. He wears a blue t-shirt and black jeans. He is funny and clever. He is 25 years old."
What stands out to you there?
The word strong, in the first example, we just had tall and thin. Here, medium height and strong. That adds a physical capability, a density.
Yes, and pairing strong with funny and clever, it's a great mix.
It is. You often hear stereotypes of the strong, silent type or the funny, weak guy. This breaks that. He's physically capable, but socially engaging.
And the blue t-shirt and black jeans just reinforces a casual, practical nature. He sounds grounded.
Definitely. Okay, case study 3, the teacher. "My teacher is short and thin. She has curly brown hair and green eyes. She wears glasses and a black sweater. She is smart, polite, and helpful. She is middle-aged."
This one is fascinating because it creates such a specific archetype in your mind.
As soon as I read glasses and black sweater, I had the image.
Right. You have glasses, black sweater, and middle-aged. Even before you hear smart or helpful, you're already picturing a certain type of academic or nurturing figure.
It just shows the power of visual bias. Glasses equals intelligence in our shorthand. Black sweater equals seriousness.
Exactly. And adding smart, polite, and helpful just confirms that visual archetype. It's a very cohesive description.
Now, the guide mentions one more advanced technique that I think is crucial: comparisons.
Right. Because we rarely describe people in a total vacuum. We're always defining people in relation to others.
The key words here are, taller and shorter, bigger and smaller, and for personality, friendlier and kinder.
The examples are telling, my sister is taller than my brother, or this teacher is friendlier than that teacher. It's all about relativity. It helps the listener scale their mental image. If I already know your brother is tall, and you say your sister is taller, that tells me a lot.
It creates a lineup in the mind. It anchors the description. So, why do we do all this? Why master these 4 pillars?
Well, the source is clear on this. It's about utility. We do this when meeting new people. Look for the tall guy. We do it when talking about family. And, I love this one, when writing stories.
The old man with a big beard and kind eyes. That's a character right there.
It is. And the ultimate goal is what the source calls the clear picture.
Yes. Communication is about transferring an idea from my head to yours. Adjectives are the vehicle for that.
If I use the right combination of all 4 pillars, the picture in your head will match the picture in mine. And that is successful communication.
It stops us from being misunderstood. It ensures that when I say, "Meet me by the guy in the jacket," you don't walk up to the wrong person and have a very awkward conversation.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up, I want to talk about the daily practice the source suggests. Adam advises looking at people around you every day and just mentally describing them.
It's a great mindfulness exercise, actually. Next time you're sitting in a park or waiting in a cafe, don't just pull out your phone. Look at a stranger.
Discreetly. Don't stare.
Yes, discreetly. But describe them in your head. The man is tall and strong. He wears a black jacket. He looks kind.
The woman has curly hair. She wears a red scarf. She's smiling.
Doing this drills the vocabulary, sure. But more importantly, it forces you to pay attention.
That's the key. Describing people isn't just about vocabulary. It's about observation. It's about noticing the world. It turns you from a passive observer into an active one.
And that is the big takeaway.
So here's our final thought for you, our listener. We've spent this whole time talking about how to describe others, but let's flip the mirror.
And this brings us back to that provocative idea from the source. That personality helps us understand people better than appearance.
Right, so imagine a stranger is looking at you right now. They're on the phone with their friend trying to describe you using Adam's 4 pillars: appearance, clothes, personality, age. Which category would be the most interesting part of your description?
And more importantly, what specific adjectives would you hope they use?
Would you be the tall one, the stylish one in the bright colors? Or would you be the brave one, the funny one?
It's a question worth asking. Because while you can't always control the appearance pillar, you can't change your height.
You definitely have some say in the clothes, and you have a whole lot of say in the personality.
You craft that description every day by how you act.
Something to mull over the next time you look in the mirror or pick out a shirt. You're writing your own description. That's it for this deep dive into the art of description. Thanks for listening, and start painting those pictures with words.
See you next time.